But I was like, this is a good sniper rifle. And it's crazy, dude. This gun is so good. Keep in mind, they nerfed it, and that's how good it is, dude. So hello gamers, and welcome to the first test place video in a while. Yay, we're doing test place video again. Obviously, anybody who's looked at the patch notes recently has seen there's a ton of new nerfed guns. So today I wanted to show all of the nerfed guns, excluding the shotguns, because I'll make a whole video on that once they hit the main game, because right now it's still like up in the air if they're gonna get all the nerfs that they are currently getting, because you know, they might change them around and stuff, so I want that video to be very final. 1,000 likes and I'll talk about all the buffed guns, but yeah, let's get into it. The biggest, most important nerf I think of this entire update is probably to the police barrel on the XIX, which has been a huge problem. They've heavily rebalanced this, so now actually it does have a torso multi again, which was kind of what they were going for, but now it actually decreases your torso kill range from about 40 studs to 30 studs, so you don't have that crazy like 80 stud torso kill range, and it can no longer headshot kill all ranges, so it's more like a, if you can hit your headshots, it's actually a good gun type gun, instead of like a, oh, this gun just gives you a farther torso kill range and an infinite headshot kill range. It actually has an almost 200 stud headshot kill range. Why did I get in this server? This is such a tiny server. Is the police barrel still going to be very good? Yes, it will headshot kill to almost 200 studs. This makes it very strong, but just not overpowered, and you can still torso kill, so it's kind of more rebalanced. Before it couldn't torso kill, but it could headshot kill all ranges, and then they made it torso kill really far and headshot kill all ranges, and now it torso kills but not as far and doesn't headshot kill all ranges, so it's definitely in a better spot than it was before. I think this is going to be a great attachment for people who like to headshot kill really far, because the extended barrel probably headshot kills to like 100 studs and the police barrel is to like 200, but the police barrel is like half the torso kill range, so if you're very good at headshotting, a lot of people are not going to enjoy this. It is a nerf to 5.56. Let's be honest, it's a nerf. This was probably one of the most broken conversions in the game, so now instead of doing 34 to 20 with a torso multi, it does 33 to 20, but has a better max damage range, so it's not going to 3-hit kill, it's not going to do as much torso damage. It's going to be like a honey badger type deal. I hope they removed the choke, but I'm not 100% sure if they did. It's still gonna be solid, but just not overpowered anymore. Like, it's still gonna be great, dude. Like, it's still gonna go on. In fact, it's probably gonna have a little bit better like damage in that 40 to 80 stud range. It's gonna have a little bit more damage than it did before, but not like a huge meaningful amount, but still a solid gun, just not as overpowered as it was before. Before it was a 3-hit kill with 5-hit kill, low recoil, 800 RPM, basically an M4A1 with like a better 3-hit kill range, a torso multi, and 20 min, and shot faster. It was just really broken. 5.56 on the Beowulf was just like, I guess the downside was it had like a weird choke, which was kind of annoying. I don't know if they removed the choke, but like the choke wasn't that big, so it didn't actually really matter that it had choke, and choke is like a weird coping mechanism in this game. Also, if there's a little bit of audio problems, it is like a bug in the game right now. I think it's in all of ROBLOX, so I'm sorry if you guys can hear that, but yeah, 5.56 on the Beowulf is still great. I just don't think it's overpowered anymore, but it's still going to be pretty good. Like, if you want to use it, it's still pretty good. Now, our next change is one to the PPK-12. As you know, it has a lot worse damage ranges, about like 100 studs less, but it also has like a very weird burst delay now. The hyper burst is gone on the PPK-12, which makes it basically the old version of it, where it's still very strong, just definitely not overpowered. But if you can actually get the burst down, like I can't, yeah, I can't do it. I literally can't do it. If you can get the burst down, you're still gonna pop off. I probably will never use this gun again because I can't burst guns for the life of me. If they're not a hyper burst, I can't use them except the M16A4. That's probably the end of the PPK-12 meta. I don't know, it's still good. Like, obviously, like, it still does the damage and stuff, but it's just not gonna be super overpowered, and that's fine. The next thing is shotguns, which I'm not gonna mention all of them, but most of them have had their minimum damage reduced by quite a bit. For example, with birdshot, KS-23M does 9 min, DT-11 does 8 with birdshot, A-12 does 11 at range, and their spread has been increased. So basically, shotguns are still going to be just as good in CQC most of the time. However, they're not going to be able to kill super far, at least hopefully. From my experience, the KS-23M is still just as far, but I will be talking about that when the buff hits the main game. So make sure to subscribe. I'll talk about that in the future. Our next nerf is another one of the big ones of this update, is the intervention nerf. The intervention nerf is massive on a massively popular gun, my high skill sniper rifle, and a gun that I've kind of distanced myself from because of the Remington 700. I haven't been using it as much, and they buffed this gun in a pretty interesting way that still makes it pretty good and still have its own place in the game as like a, oh, I have very high velocity, very high pen, and a very far torso kill. They didn't actually change any of those things. It still has the same velocity, the highest default in the game, and as you can see, it still kind of pops off. It still one-shots torso to 150 studs. Here's the problem. It has a smaller magazine, as you can probably tell. It has 5 bullets instead of 7, and it also has slower RPM, which isn't a big deal because I'm running remove stock instead of straight pull bolt, which makes it about the same as it was before, and it has one more problem, which is that it actually has slower handling. You're gonna notice this. I'm using remove stock and it's still kind of slow. I would honestly recommend using the remove stock setup now because straight pull shoots incredibly slow, and just quick scoping with this makes it feel pretty nice. It does have an extended mag to get back to 7 bullets, but I don't recommend it. Losing like all your good handling, well, it's not even that good. Losing all the handling you have left for 2 more bullets is not a big deal. It is not a good trade-off. I do not recommend it, but the gun is still really good. Just nowhere near as overpowered as it was before. You're probably saying, well, there's plenty of other broken snipers. That is true, but a lot of them have been addressed in this update as well. Lots of sniper nerfs, which is good. It's nice because I think some of the more forgotten sniper rifles are hopefully gonna get some use. For example, the AUS and the OM got a buff in this update, which I can talk about if this video gets 1,000 likes and I make a buffed guns version of it. But yeah, intervention nerf is huge, and the TRG actually also got a pretty major nerf. Got 2 new conversions. Video in the top right, if I remember to put it there, on those conversions, because I did make a video with them. And yes, I did address some of the changes to the TRG intervention in M107 in that video. But just watch the first half of that video and it talks about the new conversions. The TRG nerf is pretty simple. You know how this gun can one-shot to the limbs, like you can hit a guy in like the leg and it will kill them? It can no longer do that quite as far. It's 35 studs to 30 studs, so not a big deal. It also can't torso kill as far, which is fine because it's actually a faster gun than the intervention now, which is pretty crazy. If the torso kill range didn't get a little bit lower, it would just be objectively better in nearly every way. So it's still really, really good. Honestly, probably better than the intervention now. I would probably use it over the intervention. It has that budget straight pull ability. You can just run it with a red dot. It does crazy damage, not as crazy as it used to, but it still shoots faster, has the same size magazine, has a faster reload, has faster handling, not as good pen, not as good torso kill range. It's like 140 instead of 150. But as you can see, this gun goes crazy with a red dot now. It did before, but like now it just feels like way better for a red dot sniper rifle than the intervention does. Holy, I'm popping. I'm so good with this gun. The TRG actually got me into sniping. Like, I wasn't really a sniper. The TRG was really trash at the time. It was before they actually gave it all the buffs that made it overpowered. But I was like, this is a good sniper rifle. And it's crazy, dude. This gun is so good. Keep in mind, they nerfed it, and that's how good it is, dude. The next nerf is a nerf that I have been talking about for a while. A lot of people have been talking about for a while because it's very, very strong to the point of being way overpowered. Like, this gun was like Mosin 8mm if Mosin 8mm was extra overpowered. Like, Mosin 8mm also got a nerf in this update, but this gun could torso kill to the same range, shot faster, had better velocity, had a bigger magazine, and it's still good. It could torso kill to the same range as the intervention, which is just like ridiculous considering it's a semi-auto gun that shoots this fast. Get out of here. But now it can only torso kill to like 100, which I feel like might still be too far. It can also headshot kill to 150 instead of like headshot killing and torso killing to the same range, which I think is a nice feature about these guns, is that before Mosin 8mm and wa2k 300 didn't actually really reward you for headshots. Like, headshots and torsos were exactly the same on those guns, and that kind of just feels like against the game's policy, you know? But as you can see, this gun is still really good. It just doesn't torso kill as far, but it can headshot kill to about 150 studs still. But yeah, basically less max damage range and less torso multi, which makes it just like still really strong. I'd say maybe it could get another nerf, but this is a good start. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you've ever had like a rank 200 use this in your game. You know how busted this thing is, man. Second fastest firing sniper to the SVU, but the SVU doesn't even torso kill at like any range. Like, even from 1 stud away, this torso kills 250 studs, but now like 100. But yeah, it's still gonna be really good. Not a huge nerf to it. I feel like it's gonna be really strong, but it's definitely a good change. 416 Barrett also did get a change. Now it increases your penetration, increases your velocity, but makes your ranges worse, your torso multi worse, and your min damage worse, which means you're not going to be able to torso kill as far. On the Hecate, it's not even going to be a direct upgrade anymore, but it's still a pretty good conversion because you actually get 4,000 muzzle velocity, which is very high, and more pen, which makes it actually pretty decent. It's not like a direct upgrade or a direct downgrade. I feel like this is a rebalance instead of a nerf. Just do keep in mind that the m107 nerf is that it can no longer torso kill after 250 studs. 416 Barrett even more reduces that range to like maybe 220 or something. I'm not really 100% sure on that. It does reduce it though, but the M107 is still very strong, okay? It's still really good. It still has 10 studs of pen, tons of velocity, and 50 RPM. It's still really good, and with the big snipers getting nerfed, I feel like it's still incredible. It's still probably the best sniper in the game, maybe. It's definitely still up there. If not the best sniper in the game, it's still up there. But yeah, you won't be able to one-shot to the torso after about 250 studs, which will be pretty annoying, I will not lie. But honestly, the gun was just super overpowered before, you know, beyond belief. Also, if you didn't know, now it's called the M82 with muzzle brake. You probably know that because everybody made a video about it, even though it doesn't change the gun at all. But yeah, that is the M107 nerf, but also Mosin 8mm got a nerf as well. Yes, Mosin 8mm got another nerf. So Mosin 8mm, as you can probably tell, has a 1.2 torso multi, but a 1.42 headshot multi and an 80 stud max damage range. This means it will not be able to one-shot to the torso to 100, only 80 studs, but it will be able to one-shot headshot to about 150, which makes headshots actually rewarded on this gun. But obviously, it is still a torso kill gun, so you can one-shot to the torso, just not as far, and the headshot kill range is about the same, which makes it like pretty good to get headshots. Other than that, it didn't actually get any big changes to it. Wow, 5113 Gs. First game on, by the way. 8mm is still not bad. Like, the drop is awful, but it does torso kill pretty far. Also, the K14 got a nerf, although I'm not sure if it's in the main game yet. It doesn't really look like it is. Maybe they reverted it, I'm not too sure, because the stats don't look like they actually have it in the main game. It actually had a 103 stud torso kill range, and what they did is I think they increased the reserve ammo, but made the torso kill range not as far, which is fair, because like the thing about it is that it can do this. That's a reload for 10 bullets, but it could also torso kill 200 studs. I think it might be about 80 after the nerf, which still makes it super solid. Might even be like 90, but they could still be tweaking it, so I'm not 100% sure if this is going to get in the main game, but I feel like the K14 could get a change. I don't know. It's very, very strong, yeah, definitely, but it's not like a flaringly overpowered gun like the other sniper rifles like the Intervention and wa2000 were, and even the TRG, but if it's getting a nerf, fine, that's okay. There's also 2 machine pistol nerfs. The other machine pistols are actually becoming a lot more meta, like Micro Uzi is actually super solid now. I talked about this in my Micro Uzi conversions video. I added a bunch of new conversions to the gun. They completely rebalanced it, and man, it is way better now. But yeah, the Tech 9 got a nerf, and then 93R got a nerf. 93R is a pretty simple nerf. It has a burst delay, and I can no longer use the gun. It's pretty sad because I cannot get this burst down, and I think they did increase the recoil because it's like way higher recoil now. However, it's still not bad. Like, it feels a lot more balanced. If you want a 3-hit kill at a very high rate of fire and you don't want like insane recoil, I think it's the gun for you. It's not quite as crazy, but like 3-shot kill to like a decent range. Maybe they should rebalance it a little bit. Like maybe make it 3-hit kill a little bit farther or something, because like, holy, at least for me, this burst delay is like insane. I don't know. I'm trash at bursting though, so maybe it's better, but I'm not 100% sure, man. Regardless, it's a pretty nice change. However, Tech 9 got a massive nerf, man. First off, long barrel no longer affects your ranges. I don't know if it did before. I thought it did. Anyway, now this gun, instead of doing 28 to 20, does 24 to 17. If you don't know why I said 24 in that way, it means 24 damage is a 5-shot. Like, it is a 5-shot max. 5-shot max is actually ridiculous. Definitely deserves it because it shoots so fast that a 5-shot is still like enough to easily kill somebody. And I feel like when they added an extended mag to this gun, I feel like they kind of put it on themselves to nerf the gun, but I feel like it probably could have gotten a nerf anyways, because 20 round mag is still pretty good. 32 is just kind of ridiculous. It still is very, very good. Like, keep in mind, it's not like nerfed into the ground. It's still pretty balanced. Even though I don't really run machine pistols except maybe the Glock from time to time, I might actually use the Micro Uzi over this now, but I'm not 100% sure. It really just depends on your playstyle. This is still a great panic secondary, just not as crazy as it was before, so that's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. There's going to be a lot of Tech 9 fanboys who are like, no, this gun is balanced. Please bring back the one that could 5-shot at range. Oh, it was so balanced and good. Now, also a massive nerf. I'm talking incredible. The 1858 New Army. This gun used to be just so broken, like just broken beyond belief. Basically, what they did is they added 1 pellet, so it has 7 pellets, but it does 15 damage a pellet, which goes up to about, I think, 105 if every pellet hits. First off, long barrel now sucks. There's no reason to use long barrel. I forgot to take it off. It just makes your handling terrible. But this gun can only kill if every single pellet hits. Keep in mind, before you only had to hit 4 out of 6. Now you have to hit all 7. And make sure to run muzzle brakes so you can spam it, because now it's not going to one-shot that much. It kind of sucks that like the one-shot with the long barrel meta is kind of gone, because that did feel like a little bit more skill-based than just spamming the gun. But the gun was just so broken when spamming anyways. So regardless, it could one-tap really, really far with the long barrel. Now it does like awful damage at range. That didn't even kill there. He's actually insane. This gun is a lot worse. It's definitely more balanced. Honestly, I might even use the default gun over it, but I don't think we're going to see any snake shots in the future. I think the snake shot is probably going to die out in the meta. It will still be used from time to time, and it's not even like too bad. It just isn't going to one-shot. You have to be like actually point blank to one-shot. So yeah, massive change. It also does 10 at range, which means it can no longer 5 pellet kill. It's actually a 10 pellet kill. I forgot to mention, it can only one-shot if every pellet hits to about 30 studs, which is just ridiculous. This gun is so nerfed. Definitely deserved. The default gun is still going to be really good, but snake shot is definitely definitely a lot worse. The Judge was kind of the contender for the 1858, but let's be real, 1858 was way better. The Judge has less minimum damage, and I think that's really about it, and probably worse spread as well. Yeah, it does 40 damage still and still has 4 pellets. It just does kind of add damage at range, like 15, which is definitely not going to be like the one-shot revolver that people are going to be used to. That's still the Executioner, which still hasn't been nerfed. But yeah, let's be real, nobody uses the Judge. If you're a Judge user, I'm sorry, I'm kidding. People do use it, I just don't really like it. As you could probably tell by the fact that I have 25 kills on it. But then we also have a super shorty nerf, but also kind of changed. This gun shoots faster and reloads faster now. However, it has awful damage, 24 times 8 to 13 times 8. So instead of doing like 29 times 8 to 16 times 8, it does 24 to 13. So now it's a 5 pellet kill, and yeah, it does shoot faster. And if I shoot all my bullets, like, hold on, this is the reload. That's a lot faster. That is a lot faster. It loads in shells really fast, and it has this nice thing when you empty reload it, it pumps really, really fast at the end. So like empty reloading it isn't as bad as it was before. And now it's going to one-shot like way more consistently than the 1858, at least to my knowledge it will. Like 1858 does shoot faster and reload faster and have a bigger default capacity. So there is a reason to use the 1858, but honestly, they're going to be pretty balanced now. And I feel like the Serbu shotgun might be more popular. I mean, kind of was before because it's like a rank 20 secondary shotgun. So it's going to be, oh my gosh, he's popping off with the Serbu. Called Super Shorty now, but I'm gonna call it the Subaru shotgun. The Subaru shotgun will never die in my heart, bro. Our final few nerfs are shotguns that people don't really use that often, but M79 Thumper now does 34 to 10 instead of 34 to, what was it, like 19? Instead of like 19 at range, it does like, who cares? Nobody uses it. Saiga 12U does 27 to 11 instead of 27 to like 16. Still probably gonna be better than the Serbu, I mean Super Shorty, but the biggest rebalance, I might talk about this in my buff guns as well. This change is huge. Instead of doing like 28 in CQC, it does 32. It gained an extra pellet, so it does times 9 instead of times 8, but it has like awful damage at range, 9 times 9, so it can't kill even if every pellet hits the head. Another thing is actually now it can burst even with chokes, which they finally added that because before it had like an auto mode and it was kind of dorky. And another thing is it actually reloads faster, so it's not necessarily a nerf, but you will notice that the spread is awful, the range damage is awful, and it is definitely more of a CQC gun. I think it should actually kill in CQC really, really effectively, like, you know, one stud away like that, even though that was 42, but it should have a decent consistent one-shot range, which it really lacked before. Like, I would put a full burst into a guy in CQC with birdshot. Even without birdshot, it just would not kill. I don't know why. It just didn't kill. But overall, it's going to be a little bit more balanced around it being a sawed-off. It just wasn't before. Like, it just didn't have the close range pack-a-punch damage, but now it does. Now it do have the damage. It do have the reload speed it needed before. Pretty nice change to this gun. Obras did get a change, but it's not necessarily a nerf, more of a buff. So I will talk about that in my buffed guns video. If you guys want to see that, make sure to like and sub. But I think that's going to do it for the video. Let me just make sure they didn't nerf the Executioner. Yep, Taurus Barrel is still a one-shot headshot all ranges. So if you missed the old Police Barrel, Taurus Barrel does exist, and it's actually balanced now. Because before, Taurus Barrel was like a direct downgrade. Other than that, I'm really, really happy. I hope they actually like buff DMRs or something. Just great changes all around. How guns like the and the Oz and the Remington 700 are really going to shine. They also buffed the Steyr Scout a little bit after my video, I believe. If it was from my video, thank you guys. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and sub. 1,000 likes and I will make a buffed guns video. Please like the video. I want to do that. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.